All super busy getting ready for the big day. Christmas is just around the corner, so we thought we would grab some of our best bits from last year's Christmas episodes and deliver them in this episode because we're busy too. Thank you very much for watching this year. Hope you have an amazing Christmas, and I will see you and the team will in 2024. Festive Christmas meatloaf. It is essentially everything you want from a Christmas dinner in one incredible meatloaf. It's full of flavour. It is absolutely delicious. Then we're going to make an amazing glazed gammon in clementine, clove and maple syrup. Beautiful maple syrup from St. Lawrence Gold. It is a cracker of a product. And then we're going to make a mulled wine coq au vin. So, you know, if maybe there's only two of you, you don't want a big roast, you don't want a massive dish, but you want something festive, that recipe is absolutely for you. But first, our festive meatloaf. So it starts with turkey. So we've got minced turkey in the bowl here. Now, Carlos will place the recipe down this side, or maybe that side, I'm not quite sure which. And it'll have all the ingredients for you. But we start with minced turkey, and then I have got Cumberland sausage meat. So I've got two left to cut out their skins. I'm always cutting sausages out the skins. It's really easy to do. You get loads more seasoning, loads more flavour. So you just cut down the middle and then just unwrap it. So I'll show you that again. Can you see this all right, Emily?
Yeah.
So just sharp knife and score the sausage, unravel it, and get rid of that skin. You can get sausage meat lots at Christmas. You could do that if you prefer. So put that to one side. Now, if you have any questions at all today, please put them in the comments below. I am here to help. These recipes are going to make Christmas a blast. We have got 4 episodes running right the way up to Christmas Eve. And on Christmas Eve, we're going to have cocktails and mocktails. So if you don't do alcohol, you can have the mocktail too. But stay tuned. Every Saturday, 9 a.m, you will see me in the kitchen. Emily and Carlos are over there eating and editing at the same time. So let's get back to the recipe. I have got some Paxo style stuffing, instant sage and onion stuffing. Nothing exciting in here. I've just followed the packet of instructions and I have just made it up, left it to cool. So we have got some nice flavours now. I have got some apricots, dried apricots. We're going to pop those in. I've always made my sage and onion stuffing at Christmas with cranberry and apricot. I love it. The combination's brill. It just takes your everyday instant stuffing to the next level. So we've got our apricots there. We've got our dried cranberries. If you can't get hold of cranberries, use raisins. Okay, they will work just the same. You get that nice sort of sweetness. I have got my chestnuts. Okay, so I'm just going to roughly chop these. Not much, because when you eat this, you want to know that you've cracked into a chestnut, if you ask me. So just run the knife through a couple of times, like so. Do you like a chestnut?
I do actually.
Do you?
I think they're starting to come into the shops, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so chestnuts. Now, herbs. Let's talk herbs, okay? So I've been to the garden. It's not looking its best, I'll be honest. So we've got some fresh thyme. These will be the only herbs in your garden that are growing, really, if you're in the UK. Right. So I've got a little bit of thyme. I've got the last bits of sage. Now, I'm using fresh sage today. If you've only got dried, use half the amount, okay? So half the amount of what's in the recipe, use as dried, because it's very intense in its flavour. Okay, so we've got some sage, and then rosemary, always growing in the garden all the time. Let's strip that, okay. And then I've got some bay leaves, which I'm not going to chop, but I am going to use to get the flavour in, and I'll show you how in a minute.
Do you prefer fresh bay leaves over?
Oh yeah, we've got loads in the garden. The great thing about bay is, and if you don't know what to ask Father Christmas for Christmas, ask for a bay tree. because it is amazing. It will be there all year long, and it will be full of leaves, and it's a great way to get flavour in. I find the dry ones a bit brittle, and they just kind of break up, and they become too strong. Whereas if you take a bay and you sort of smell that one, right? Have a smell of it. Not a lot going on yet, is there?
No.
Right, scrumple it up in your hand like that, and then have a smell.
Wow.
It releases all the flavours, and that will perfume into your dish. It's lovely. It's just Christmas. So, bay leaves, scrunch them up a bit. Don't tear them. Just break the chambers of the leaf so that they will release their flavour. Right. Let's roughly chop our herbs. So we've got sage, thyme, and rosemary. All good winter herbs. Right. Okay. So that can all go into our mixture now. In it goes. Right, we're also going to get some orange in there. So let's find a zester. So I always use a plain because it means that you get all the zest off. Zest is where the fragrance is and flavour is. The juice is where the acidity is. So you want kind of best of both really in this. And you could use clementines or satsumas if you wanted to. I'm using an orange because I want plenty of zest. There we go. Right. Hang on to the orange. One large free-range egg. In it goes. And then we've got our breadcrumbs. Now we add our orange juice. Okay, so cut it in half. Where's my juicer? Where is my juice? There it is. My juicer. Do you remember my juicer?
Yep.
Right. In it goes. And squeeze. I love this juicer. It's brilliant. It's from Chef'n. You can get them and cook, serve, and enjoy. They are brilliant. Really, really good. Great for cocktails. Great for just juicing in food and cooking or drinking. If you want to only use the zest, say in your baking, in your cake, juice the rest for breakfast. It's delicious. And it's juicing straight over the breadcrumbs, which will help it all absorb and come together. So, in with your hands and just scrunch it all up. Okay? So that's our turkey, our sausage meat, our dried fruit, our herbs, egg, breadcrumbs, and what else have we got in there? Chestnuts. I know, it smells so Christmassy. You know, and if you don't want a big turkey, but you want Christmas, it's absolutely all in this bowl. Okay? So that is mixed together and ready. Not much to do there. Haven't seasoned it because the sausage meat's got seasoning in already. Okay, so let's put that to one side. Couple more things to do. Smoked bacon. So your pigs in blankets. Christmas is not complete without pigs in blankets. We've got our sausage meat in there, so that's half of the pigs in blankets. Now the blanket. We're going to chop up the smoked streaky bacon. Okay. And that's going to go in. So we've got cranberries, we've got our pigs in blankets, we've got our chestnuts, we've got our turkey, we've got the lot going into this meatloaf. All right? So that's chopped up. That can go in. Now, our stuffing that's pre-soaked and ready to go. And it's cooled now. I want to turn this into a ball. And it's going to go right in the centre of our festive meatloaf. So, you see how it just rolls and holds together, yeah? Okay, so, now, your Christmas pudding. I made mine in my masterclass tin, in my pudding steamer. We're now going to use it for our meatloaf, okay? So I've got a little bit of softened butter here. I'm just going to rub it around the sides for flavour. It's non-stick anyway, this, so it won't stick. But I just wanted to add a little bit of flavour and richness. So you can add a little bit of butter. It kind of bastes it around the edges. Can you see that? I'll just wash my hands. Right, butter in the pudding dish. Now, if you didn't have a pudding tin like this, you could use a loaf tin if you wanted to, or you can use a pudding basin, as long as it's okay to go in the oven, all right? So, bay leaves in the bottom. We'll peel those away at the end, but because we've crushed them a little bit, the flavour will start to really work in there. Now, cranberry sauce. It's not complete, is it? Christmas dinner without a bit of cranberry sauce. We're going to stick that into the bottom. You see that all right? Yeah? So we're going to make this sort of well in the bottom, and that will soak in, and when you turn it out, you've got all that lovely cranberry sauce on the top, and it'll pour down the sides. It'll be brilliant. Okay. Keep a little bit left for when you serve it, so when you turn it out, you can always add more on top if you want to. Okay? So, give it a little tap. Now, let's take our filling. I'm just going to mix that smoked bacon through, and then we will start to add it in. Now, I've got a competition going over the next couple of weeks. If you want to win one of my masterclass pieces of equipment, and I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. I'm going to tell you what it is next week when it finishes. It is an amazing piece of kit. I love it. What you need to do is look for the elf on the shelf in my kitchen somewhere, like and comment and tell me where that elf is, and that will enter you into competition to win an amazing piece of masterclass equipment that you will need on Christmas Day, I promise you, and I will get it to you if you're in the UK. So I'm afraid only people in the UK can enter. I'm sorry. Maybe next year we'll work out how to do it beyond, because we have loads of people all over the world watching the show, which is amazing. So thank you for that. So yeah, tell me where the elf is in the comments below, like and share this video, and then next week I will show you what you're going to win. Okay? So, it's exciting, isn't it? So all we're going to do is we're just going to keep filling it, and then just use the back of your hands just to push it into all the gaps. And I want to make a well in the middle, okay? Because I'm going to put a ball of stuffing right in the centre there, okay? Now push it down around the edges, and then we'll get the last of this around there just to hide it all in together.
When's the best to prepare this, Pete? Because obviously I know people kind of build up the package.
Yeah. You could totally make this now and freeze it, and then take it out for 24 hours, leave it in the fridge to thaw, and then you could bake it for Christmas Day. You could have it on Boxing Day. You do what you like. Make it whenever you fancy. And to be honest, you could take this concept and you could apply it to different flavours. You don't have to be for Christmas if you don't want. You do it for Easter. You can do it for whenever you like. But what I've done there is I've managed to get all the filling in. I've got that sphere in the middle of that ball of sage and onion stuffing in there. We've got our cranberry at the bottom. We've got bay leaves in there. As it heats up, all those flavours are going to marry together. It's going to be delicious. So, put the lid on. Give it a twist. Now, if you were wanting to be particularly economical in the way that you did this, if your tin or your container fits in the air fryer, do it in the air fryer. You use so much less electricity. Or you could put this in the slow cooker overnight on the low heat, and it'll be ready the next morning for when you want it. And I tell you, on Boxing Day, this sliced up will be absolutely amazing. Right, it's time for the glazed gammon. Now, this is my absolute favourite. I would rather have this than turkey any day. What I've done is I've bought a joint of gammon from Booths yesterday, and I have filled this with about 1 inch of water, popped it on the roasting tray, and then covered it and put it in the oven for 3 hours at 160 degrees, and it's cooked. Now, if you want to do this in a more economical manner, totally put it in a slow cooker easily, and it will cook overnight on a medium to low heat, and it'll be perfect. You can also put it in a pan, cover it with water, simmer it for 2 to 3 hours, use a temperature probe, make sure that it's above 75 degrees Celsius in the middle, and you are done, and at this stage. So, it is cooked, okay? So we're just going to take the net off. So I will lift that onto there. Is that all right, Emily? I don't want to spoil your shot. And then we're just going to cut the net off and remove the skin. Okay, now if some of the skin comes away, that's absolutely fine, because we don't want the skin. What we want is to be able to glaze up the fat underneath. Right, there we go. So just score that. Now, if you want any of today's recipes, please scan the QR code along the bottom. It will take you to masterclass.co, who are my sponsors, and they provide all the equipment that I work with in my kitchen, and you will get the recipes there. Okay? So, just cut that and just remove the skin. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the whole thing off there. Get this net away so the net holds it all together. And then we can just peel that away. And if it doesn't come off that easily, just use your knife and just score it. Do you like a gammon? Do you have gammon at home?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Christmas this. My mum used to cook one of these every Christmas. It's my dad's favourite thing for Christmas.
We always cook one. It's always nice that we always have it like on Boxing Day and like the day after, like leftovers from Christmas.
Yeah, and you always want a bigger joint than you actually need because there's loads of stuff that you can do with it.
We always turn it, if you have like turkey, like turkey, gammon and pie.
Nice. Maybe you should be here and I'll do that bit. Role reversal. No? Right.
It's good for lots.
Okay. So, now we've got our gammon joint. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Cloves. This is Christmas in a jar, if you ask me. Okay, so you want plenty, okay? Do you use cloves in Spain, Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. What do you use them for?
Just kind of the same, for meats.
So all we're going to do is just push them into the meat, and this will just take me a few minutes. And they just sort of, it's like studding it with little bits of flavour, and there's nothing else like it. So you can't really say, oh, do that instead. It just, cloves, you need cloves, really, for this job. And they're probably still in the cupboard from last Christmas when you bought them from last Christmas, and you haven't used them since, because it really is a Christmassy herb. You might use them in your mulled wine, but that is about it. So
They're not used for much else, are they?
no, I mean, I think they're part of mixed spice.
Yeah.
And I think they use them quite a lot in Caribbean cooking, but blended up with chili and all that sort of
Not
stuff.
just a salt flavour.
No, I mean, you open the jar and it just smells of Christmas straight away. So, anywho, right, nearly there. Just pushing them in, and because we've removed the skin, they will just push in really, really easily. And I just think this makes such a nice alternative for a Christmas dinner. Roasted, I mean, why not? Have that instead of turkey if you don't fancy turkey. It's cheaper. It's still got that same impact. It's special because you don't have this all the time. I would much rather have this for Christmas myself. I've yet to find anyone who can make me enjoy turkey. It just doesn't do it for me. Right. Okay, that will do, I think. So, there is my gammon studded with cloves. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lift it back into the roasting tray, okay? And then I'm just going to scoop that fat away. Pop that onto there. Clementines. They are just Christmas, aren't they? And we're going to pop those there. Can you see that all right, Emily, or do you want me to move it?
No, it's fine.
Sure? Okay. And what we will do is we'll squeeze all the clementines out over the gammon when it's finished. All right? So let's pop that on there. Just pop them round, and they will just make the most incredible flavour when we add... Can I put this on here now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Does that make you happy? Good. Right, maple syrup. Now, this is St. Lawrence Gold Organic. This is a dark maple syrup. It is absolutely delicious. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in the supermarkets now. It is one of the good ones, in my opinion. And what we're going to do is... you could coat it all in sugar if you wanted to, but I wanted to use the maple syrup because I think it's got more flavour. And all we're going to do is drizzle it over the top. And that will caramelise and roast in the oven and just make all the difference. Okay, so that is going to go in a hot oven for about 20 minutes. Really hot as it'll go, because you just want the outside to caramelise. Now, if you haven't got a grill option, you could blowtorch it if you want, or just full whack in the oven and just let it go golden and caramelised. Oh, let me tell you, this smells absolutely amazing. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. It's all caramelised up. The maple syrup has done its job. The last thing I want to do now is take these clementines, once it's cool enough and sort of safe enough, just squeeze some of them over the top because the flavour is ridiculously good. Okay? So just a few. That will do. And then, if you don't know what to ask Father Christmas for, get one of these masterclass blowtorches. There are very few blowtorches available in a domestic environment that are any good. Chefs tend to go to DIY stores and builders merchants and buy them for big commercial kitchens because the little tiny creme brulee ones don't work. This one from Masterclass absolutely does. If you want one, cookserveandenjoy.com. Order it now or put it on your Christmas list. Right. Scorch it, okay? And you almost want to sort of burn the cloves a little bit because that's when you get the amazing caramelised flavour. Are you a little bit excited, Emily?
Yeah, a lot.
You like this one, don't you? I'm just going to get another clementine. Look at that. Caramelise that clementine juice. It is so good. Are we getting nice and close in on this? Oh, look at that. Whoa. There we go. Right. Let's get a carving fork and knife.
I'm excited.
This is the best bit. Right, let's lift that up. Ooh. There we go. Where's the bit? Which side do you want me to carve, Emily?
This one.
This side?
Yes.
But I'm left-handed. All right. For you.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that. It is super tender and the flavour on the outside is just incredible. This is perfect for a Christmas dinner instead of turkey, honestly.
The little bits that fall off.
What, this bit here?
Yeah. I mean,
The good thing about this is whatever's left over is perfect for Boxing Day, and there are so many things you could do with the leftovers, if there are any, but that is blooming lovely. Right, on to the next dish. Okay, so here is my festive meatloaf. I'm just going to take the lid off. I've checked the temperature and it is above 75 degrees, which is exactly what we need it to be. Okay? I'm just going to pour the excess liquid away because you'll find that it does create some excess liquid, which is fine. Ooh, right. So I'm going to get another plate. And then we sit that on top. Okay. And then we just turn it over like so. It was easy, wasn't it? High risk, that one. High risk. And then we're just going to carefully lift them because we buttered it. And it's non-stick, this pudding tin anyway. Look at that. Okay, we're just going to take those bay leaves away because we don't need those. They've done their job. Okay. And you can see all the fruit. You can see the cranberries, the apricots, all throughout. And then we saved a little bit of cranberry sauce, didn't we? I'm just going to stir that together. Sit that on top just for extra flavour. And there you go. With a pint of gravy, some roast potatoes, some parsnips, some Brussels sprouts, you're done. That is how to make my delicious festive meatloaf. Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. It is time for Christmas dessert episode. I have got 2 delicious recipes for you that are alternatives to the traditional Christmas pud. Now, first of all, we're going to make a delicious chocolate and orange self-saucing pudding. It's definitely what I'm serving on Christmas Day. So, first of all, let's get started. Now, in the recipe, which will be down the side, I'm sure Carlos will pop that down there for you, with all the ingredients. If you want the recipe, scan the QR code along the bottom. It'll take you to masterclass.co website and you'll get the recipe there. But in with the first amount of sugar. So we've got to save a little bit of the sugar there. In fact, I'll just tell you how much. So we need to save 20 grams of sugar and 25 grams of cocoa powder from the recipe list for the end, and I'll show you why. So in with our self-raising flour, there's 150 grams in there. You like this recipe, don't you? It confuses us because it's self-saucing, isn't it? It does. In with your cocoa powder, but it's good. It's really good. Chocolate and orange for me is the combination. I'm from York originally, where the Terry's chocolate orange factory was. So, yeah, there used to be this elusive, like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, past the race course for Terry's, and that's where they made the chocolate orange.
Well.
And I do love a dark chocolate orange, not a milk, mother. Dark chocolate orange. No.
You tried the white one?
Oh, white chocolate and orange. No, not right. Dark chocolate and orange. If anyone's struggling for a Christmas present for me, dark chocolate and orange, I love. Oh, yes. It's a hint. Right, so we just blend the dry ingredients there together. That's it. That's easy, that bit, isn't it? Right, let's get another jug. Okay. Love these smart space jugs. Look, they all stack inside each other. How cool is that? Brilliant. Sometimes it's the little things that please you in life, isn't it? Okay, so now we go for wet ingredients. So, large free-range egg, straight in. Okay, I've got my milk. I think it is 125 grams of milk. Some vanilla. Now, I've gone for the Nielsen Massey stuff. I love vanilla. You can't really skimp on, but the better the quality vanilla, the less you need of it. Don't use, always use extract, not essence. Essence is chemically created. Extract is the real stuff, okay? And then in with your melted butter. You could use margarine easily on that.
Do you have to use vanilla?
No, you don't have to. You could do without it, but I mean, it adds something to it, I think.
I'm not a massive fan of it.
Really?
No.
I love good vanilla.
I like it.
Love it.
If I had like a cocktail or something like that, I would have it in there, but I never got it when people said to put it in buttercream and things like that.
Oh.
Controversial, sorry.
That's okay.
Once you started an argument there.
Yeah. Put it in the comments below. Go easy on her. Right. Clementines, orange, okay? So we're going to slice our oranges super thin, and it's important you do it thin. Okay, so take your time, because we're going to slice them, and we're going to lay them on the bottom of the pudding. Leave that little bit there. That's okay. We'll pop that on there, because we're going to use it in a minute. So, pop it into a bowl.
Clementines.
You could use oranges if you like, but I mean, clementines are incredibly Christmassy. You know, if you can only get satsumas or easy peelers, they call them in the supermarket, don't they?
Yeah.
But I tell you what.
Clementines are good, aren't they?
Christmas. Absolute Christmas for me. I love a clementine.
Is there anything else that you could put on the bottom if you didn't like clementines?
You don't have to put anything on. I mean, the first time I did this recipe was just a self-saucing chocolate pudding.
Yeah.
You could put jam on the bottom, make it quite nice. Raspberry jam, raspberry and chocolate, that'd be nice. But I'm all about Christmas. For me, it's all about chocolate orange. Okay, so can you see this all right? Yeah, good. So, need one more slice, I think. There we go. We'll keep those, and I'm going to eat that. Right. So let's go back to our dry. So we've got our dry ingredients. Let's just make a well in the middle. You see that all right?
Yep.
And then we're going to add our wet ingredients. So we've got milk, egg, vanilla, and melted butter. Okay. All right, Pip. I've got nothing here you would like today. Okay, and then we're just going to fold this together. Just give it a nice gentle... Don't overwork it because you don't want it to become quite tough. Once it comes together, it's done. That's it.
How would you serve this before cold?
Hot. But kind of like give it 5-10 minutes after it's come out of the oven.
Yeah.
Just to... Right. So let's pour this on top here. It's super... I mean, look, how quick was that? It's super easy.
And it can feed quite a few people as well. There's like
Yeah. Crowd pleaser, this one, I think. Crowd pleaser. Christmas pudding in our house is always a bit...
Yeah.
Nah, what we're going to have instead. And everyone buys this year's supermarket pudding. And actually, I think, make your own.
Christmas pudding, just so we can actually don't like...
Do you?
We don't like to waste the big one. Because
No.
we like to bake our own stuff. There's nothing nicer Christmas than baking stuff.
Yeah. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting, I remember my mum, bless her, she'll be watching this. You didn't bake a lot, did you, Mum? But when you did, it was at Christmas. Mince pies, gammon, all that sort of stuff. And I kind of remember that as a kid. I knew Christmas Eve, Mum would be making mince pies and stuff like that. Okay, right. And now we're just going to push the sponge and cover the orange. And what's going to happen is the orange is going to get hot. And the fragrance of the clementines is going to push up through the pudding. And it will be absolutely delicious. I think this could be the big hit for Christmas, this. This is a good pudding. Pardon? Yeah. That too. Okay. So, once those oranges are completely covered, that's it. Here you go. You can lick the bowl. There you go. Don't try that at home. Right. Okay. Pudding is ready for the oven. One last thing. Okay. So remember that cocoa powder and that sugar that you reserved. Mix it together. Okay. This is going to be your sauce. Okay.
Like it baffles me, like how does that create this?
Well, you shall see in just 1 minute. Okay, so I've got one of the little sieves from Masterclass. Okay, so let's just pop a little bit in there, and then just sprinkle it all over your pudding. All right, keep going till it's all done. This is one of those little sort of tea strainer type sieves, so it'll take a couple of goes, which is fine. And what happens is, as this bakes, the sauce on the top drops down. There we go. That is all our sugar. Now, kettle boiled, freshly boiled. Got it here. Now, our orange tops, okay? Squeeze them on top, all right? Because that's just got flavour. The minute this orange hits the chocolate, we're in business. We are in business. It's chocolate orange at its very best. And then a little bit of hot water. It's in the recipe. So make sure you scan the QR code along the screen now and it'll tell you where to go to masterclass.co. You'll get the recipe there. It'll tell you exactly how much hot water. Whack this in the oven, 160 degrees Celsius, fan oven for 30 minutes. And the sauce will drop to the bottom. It will make friends with those slices of oranges and you will have this lovely sponge that just comes up through that sauce. It is the best chocolate pud Christmas could give you. All right? If Father Christmas was going to give you a pudding, it'd be this. In it goes. Emily, it will not be long. I promise. Right. Now, it's time to show you how to make an amazing clementine and mince pie parfait. Right, it's time for my mince pie parfait, or Emily's now renamed it as a mince, no, what was it, a parfait wreath. A parfait wreath, which sounds really nice. So I'm going to show you how to make it. Emily's going to show you how to photograph it. So anyway, so we're going to make a parfait. Now, parfait is like an ice cream, but it's not churned, so it's not stirred as it's frozen. We just make it, we set it, and off we go. So mince pie filling first. Let's get that into the pan because I want to melt the suet that's in there. I don't want chunks of that. So we've got a jar of mince pie filling.
What is suet?
Suet, it's like it's a fat.
Right.
But it's a vegetable fat. It used to be beef suet, which was, came from cows, obviously. Whereas now it's most people get vegetarian suet now. So I've got 2 clementines. So just to get loads and loads of flavour in there. I've got this I love this juice. Whoa. Blimey. Okay. Let's try and be a little less... It's going everywhere. It's all right. Right, we'll try again. Okay. Stop sniggering, Emily. Okay, so into the juicer. Great thing about these juicers is you get everything out. Loads of flavour. These are from Sheffin. Really good. Do you love a clementine?
Yeah, they are like the...
I used to get one in my stocking every year because I was a good boy. I was on the good boy list.
But you don't get them anymore.
No, the kids do. We always put a clement. Well, we don't. Father Christmas does.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's a bit of a family tradition. And we were always threatened if we were naughty, we'd get a piece of coal.
You mean you never saw a piece of corn now?
No, we had a gas fire. I was never going to get... In hindsight, I was never going to get one, was I? Never. Was I, Mum? Right, let's pop that onto the hob, and we're just going to melt that gently, okay? Till those 2 flavours marry together. Now, onto our cream, our parfait filling. Is that all right? Right, condensed milk. This will give us our real sweetness, and because this is really sweet, it will help it not freeze solid, okay?
I've got a question for you.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer this one, but go on.
Obviously, condensed milk's used in things like caramel and like fudges and things like
Yeah.
that. What? I always see evaporated milk on the... What the heck is evaporated milk? Just when you're using condensed
Yeah.
milk, what is it?
Well, evaporated milk, I'm presuming, is just where they've evaporated the water and it's a more concentrated...
What would you use that for then?
I don't know. I can't remember. Nobody really uses evaporated milk anymore.
I didn't know whether it could have been an alternative, but...
No, there's condensed milk.
That's fine, I just thought that's...
There we go. See that? Condensed milk. Right. And then a little bit of vanilla, since it's Christmas. Vanilla extract. Okay. And then we've got double cream. Okay. 500 ml. This is a dessert that could easily be made like now. Ready for Christmas. All done in the freezer. Ready to go.
What other flavours can you use? You obviously use mincemeat.
Loads, yeah. I mean, if you weren't doing mincemeat, you could do a raspberry jam one. You could do strawberry, any jams you want to use up.
You did one once, I think the very similar,
Yeah, done a rhubarb one. Done loads of those before. Right, let's whisk this together now. So you want to whisk it to like nice soft peaks. Don't whip it to piping texture. It just wants to be nice, soft peaks. It's not velvety on the texture. It's just kind of a little bit, it's like eating whipped cream. Whereas you want it nice and velvety and smooth, okay? Almost there.
They make this with dairy-free alternative to the vegan.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Now,
yeah.
Plant-based double cream.
Yeah.
I've noticed that double cream doesn't necessarily whip up as much. So would that make a difference? Would that?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to experiment, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You could also use custard powder because that is vegan.
Right.
Bird's custard powder is plant-based. There's no egg in it. So you could use plant-based milk, and you could perhaps, instead of the condensed milk, you could use some plant-based custard and some plant-based cream. You'd have to experiment, but in terms of taking the concept, yeah, no problem at all. Okay, so mince pie filling. Take yourself a sieve, okay? And now the mince pie filling is all melted. The clementine juice is in there. We're just going to pour it through a sieve. Now, if you want, you could just chuck it all in and add in the dried fruit as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this dried fruit for the top after it's frozen. Okay, and we're going to chop up some mince pies. We're going to mix it with the extra bit of this, and we're just going to sit it on the top of the parfait when it comes out of the freezer. Make it delicious. So what this is going to do is just give us a really nice mince pie flavour without all the fruit in it, and then we'd keep the fruit for the top. But it's entirely up to you. It's not going to not work if you just chuck all the fruit in. It'll still work. If it's too much fat. So just use your spoon and just push it through. And because it's sweet and sugary and syrupy and mulled, it's going to mean that it's got a really nice sort of soft freeze, so it won't freeze solid. And now we just swirl that through. You wait till you try this, Emily. Before we freeze it, it'll be really good. Now we've just sort of got this caramel look to the cream. It's got little vanilla flecks through it. Have a taste now. You could add a bit of brandy to it if you wanted to. It is Christmas. There you go. Have a try of that. See what you think. This is where you can adjust it. That is all right in my book.
I just have it out the bowl like that.
I mean, you could just set that in glasses and you could serve it like that. But we've got this masterclass bunting. So we're going to make a Christmas wreath, aren't we, Emily?
Yes, we are.
And we'll pour this in here.
Oh my goodness.
You like that? Who'd have thought a bit of cream, a bit of condensed milk and some mince pies could make something so nice, eh?
That's good.
Good.
You could not tell.
It's just got those Christmassy notes, hasn't it?
It's not over, like, sometimes, like, the mince pie can be so overpowering of mincemeat, but that's got, like, nice flavours of it.
Yeah. Okay. So what we do is give it a little tap, okay? Make sure there's no air pockets in there. Give it a little turn, like so. And we're going to pop this in the freezer overnight, okay? It will freeze solid, well not solid, semi-solid. And then we're going to take a blowtorch and we're just going to turn it upside down, blowtorch it. Now if you haven't got a blowtorch, you're just going to have to leave it for about 5 minutes. Maybe if you had a tea towel with some boiling water on it or hot water and just lay it on it, warm it up, it'll just drop out straight away, okay? What you can do is do that before Christmas Day, put it back in the freezer when it's out of the tin so you don't have to faff about on Christmas Day. And then all I'm going to do is take some mince pies, I'm going to chop them all up, I'm going to add my mixture that I used to flavour this, and I'm going to sit it on the top, and we're going to put a clementine right in the middle and have a beautiful mince pie parfait that is now becomes your centrepiece for your Christmas dessert. Could kitchen smells amazing. Look, the sauce has gone, as I promised. And all we've got now is a very lovely chocolate pudding with orange, which is the best. But I suppose what you really want to see is the sauce on the bottom, innit? Which means I'm going to have to eat some to get to the bottom for you. I guess you want to have a little... Oh, it's warm. Oh, look at that. Do you want to try some, Emily? I'm going in. That's one damn good pudding. Chocolate and orange. Need I say more? Now, if you want the recipe, scan the QR code along the bottom. There you go. Look at that, Emily. That's the saucy stuff. That's the good stuff, that. Don't expect any magical edits right now. Emily's busy. If you want the recipe, scan the QR code along the bottom. It will take you to masterclass.co website. All our recipes are there. You want this recipe. You really, really do. And you want to share it with all your friends. I think.
Yep.
We're having this at Christmas dinner, Emma. This is pudding for us in our house, in the Sidwell house, on Christmas Day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Christmas.